They say nice guys finish last, right? Well, the best back in the best shape of my life. Like the checks cash and now they paying the price, right? In showdowns I showcase my skills. Throw weight around, my weight in pounds tipping the scale. Shit, we taking this whole year. Catch up.
James Hergott here, Radical Body Transformations, and I'm in Cobourg, Ontario at Bodilogix Gym. Last time I was here, it was like over a year and a half ago. It was a dead of winter, totally different environment, different cast. It was season 1. Now we're back for season 2. We're at Andrea's place, Bodilogix, and we got a whole new group of people, different stories, different journeys, and we're really excited to capture them.
Kelly O'Connor is one of our transformers, and I'm really excited to introduce you to her. She's only awesome. Kelly, hello, welcome.
Hello.
I've known Kelly for a little bit of time now, I have to admit, and I really was excited and maybe even shocked when Kelly decided that she would like to be part of the Radical Body Transformation. You and I had an exchange a little while ago. It's really kind of how we ultimately met.
I came in to the gym and basically didn't like myself, didn't like my body, and it was affecting my marriage. So I wanted my body back to where I was when I was physically active when I was younger. And I'm a mom of 3.
Yes.
So I'm busy. They're all competitive sports, and I lost myself with that and putting on some weight.
I've since met Kelly's family, gotten to know them reasonably well, and Kelly is a mom of 3, very active people, various ages, and she is, in my opinion, the mom of all moms. She's a dance mom, she's a sports mom, she's a mom of a lacrosse player, and I don't think Kelly or her husband ever miss a game, a training, a practice, a competition, a tournament, anything for any of the 3 children that they have. So when you talk about busy on top of jobs that take a lot of time, very draining jobs, to add that to the mix, and I know there's a lot of people that can absolutely associate with that. When Kelly says to me, and she did come into my door, and we shed a few tears, she's just lost herself in the process of motherhood. And adding to the fact that I know from Kelly's background, she was quite a competitive figure skater with a really athletic background. I know, because I've been there too, when you're married and you put on weight, years go by, maybe you're in 10, 15 years to the marriage, and you feel frumpy, and you feel fat, and you feel soft, and you feel unattractive, and you look at your husband who's holding up pretty good, because they maybe don't have the same deal as the girl does. You get some really hard days of feeling like you're not desirable any longer, and that affects how you are perceived by your mate and how you perceive your mate. And I know, Kelly, that can't be the truth, because I know your mate well, and I know that he adores you. But that, it doesn't matter. I know it comes from you, comes from within, and it can affect a marriage in terms of when your fellow wants to be playful and we back down and we say, and it's not that we don't love them, and it's not that we don't want to. It's because we're sadly ashamed of our body or shy because of our changes that have occurred with us. And it's the ultimate miscommunication, I think, in marriages. And I think marriages dissolve because of it. Where are you going from here?
I think I want to build the confidence. I have a daughter that has a little bit low confidence in herself, and I want her to know that it's normal. and that you can do it by doing a physical activity and keeping the confidence and just going out and doing anything you want to do. And eventually I hope to become on stage as a body fitness show.
That is huge for somebody who maybe didn't have a whole lot of confidence, but a bit shy, to get up on stage and to demonstrate, to show the world what you were able to accomplish, and especially show your daughter, how you can go from maybe not having a lot of confidence in yourself to having confidence in yourself to the point of absolutely embracing that particular experience. We talk to our daughters about confidence, we talk to our daughters about what's on their mind and all that, but to show your daughter and to teach your daughter through your actions, as a mother myself, there's nothing more powerful. Harbinger has supplied these fabulous gloves, and we're going to need them, so no more calluses for you. Your family has become a big part of my life, so I really want you to have my t-shirt. And there's nobody else I would rather see. Just wear it, look across and see you, because that's my family and you're in my family.
Thank you.
So Kelly's all worried that she's going to cry today, and it is me that does the bawling. Having a front row seat at the metamorphosis of Kelly O'Connor is my privilege and my pleasure.
When I first joined up with my gym, I was a very insecure and shy person who had a lot of trouble dealing with social interactions. This was mainly because of my weight and the bullying I have received from it.
Good morning, Hunter.
Good morning.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
I know Hunter a little bit, and I'm super jacked that he wants to do this RBT challenge because, for a trainer to get their hands on a young man such as Hunter at the tender age of, how the heck old are you?
18.
Totally, right? He's just a testosterone machine, and the fun that I can have sculpting and shaping Hunter, it's a trainer's dream. Anyway, enough about me. Hunter has a little bit of a story to tell, and I think it's an important story. It's one that you really don't hear enough of, in my opinion. I live in a gym, so I do hear it from time to time, but Hunter, can you tell me a little bit about, you are a teenage guy in a world of body-conscious youth. It's a female thing in terms of how I think girls are maybe very, very preoccupied about their size and shape and whatnot, but I'm always fascinated to sort of see when I own a gym, when people come in and you're not the only one, when I see a young man come in looking for the gym. I'd like to get your perspective on what it's like to be an 18-year-old dude and wanting to make the change.
Well, I think it's kind of hard for younger guys to kind of build up the courage to come into a gym, because it sometimes can be pretty intimidating. Mm-hmm. Because you see all the, if you go to a pretty popular gym, you see all the pretty huge guys around, mm-hmm. and that can be hard to kind of just walk in and do your own thing. So, for me, it was first finding a trainer mm-hmm. before I just went in, because I knew that if I just went into the gym and started doing my own thing, I wouldn't have much success.
That's huge, because we know a lot of people youth your age don't think that way, and they do join the gym potentially, and maybe they print off that workout from, I like to use the Chris Hemsworth Thor workout as a good example, and they walk in there with that, with really a haphazard understanding of physiology, or even their own physiology, and maybe what they should do or what they shouldn't do, and they lift too much, they lift too often, they get, it's very enthusiastic, and that's great, but they get hurt. Mm-hmm. And that's, of course, the last thing that any trainer, we certainly don't want that. That's the worst case scenario. So I always say, and I have said this to you, I really commend you on being a younger person and knowing that you're not going to just walk in a gym and know what you're doing, and to seek out a professional to help you organize a program, something that's appropriate for you. And I think in the future we're going to see more and more of that as we become more and more enlightened and educated on just how important it is to take care of these fine machines that we're walking around in. Why were you interested in getting into the radical body transformation? being so public about this?
Well, I think I just wanted to show like all guys like my age and younger that it's pretty easy to start going to the gym as long as you have the right guidance. I mean, once you get your foot in the door, then it's pretty much up from there.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the knowledge thing in terms of when I met Hunter, just a little backstory, he was in a hockey camp group and he didn't look like this. He, first of all, was shorter. Like, what's up with that? He just like kept growing and he was much rounder and he was the goalie. And I gotta confess, the first thing I thought of when I met Hunter was, of course he's the goalie, because he takes up a lot of space. I'm sorry. But just in the time that you've been here, it's been amazing to watch your metamorphoses already. And I'm so excited to see where we go from here. I think that when you see Hunter the next time, you're gonna see something crazy. Would you be fair to say? What's your vision of where you want to go? What do you want to look like?
I mean, I'm not trying to be the biggest guy at the beach or anything, but, you know, just have a healthy body, and I want to live a decent life, so I'm not doing it for the looks, really.
You blow me away, because the perspective that Hunter comes from for fitness is such a healthy one in terms of he's a good eater. He understands the value of nutrition and the respect to his body. And the more younger people that we can educate or bring that back, it kind of got lost for a few generations when everybody started eating out of a box and out of a bag. And now we've got cirrhosis of the liver diagnosis in people in their 20s. And that's not from drinking. That used to be an alcoholic's disease. And now it's a disease from eating, because our diets have been just so atrocious. They're just at an all-time low, and education, the availability of education is at an all-time high. So again, that's sort of a neat thing about Hunter that just seems to set him apart, and I'd like to have that story out there to say, you know, you're young and you're fresh and you're right out of the can. It doesn't mean you need to eat burgers and fries with your friends every day. You can pay attention to your nutrition and actually you know, start living a life and thinking of your future now. And we all need to do that. We all need to sort of rein it in and stop giving in to Big Pharma and stop giving in to Big Sugar.
I was suffering from depression at the time and thought that I was nobody whom no one would ever want to be around. However, that all changed when I began my training.
I'm sitting here with Miss Helen Walsh, a very special person that I know. And we're going to get to know Helen a little bit more and why she's sitting next to me for Radical Body Transformation. First of all, Helen, who the heck are you?
I'm just a normal mom with 2 kids and a husband. I live locally in Port Hope. I work in Whitby full time. So I'm pretty just me, just a normal folk, regular people.
Okay, Helen is anything but normal, I'm just going to say right there. Helen deals with depression on a pretty profound level. And I've seen Helen in her life in some pretty dark days and some pretty okay days and then some pretty dark days. And when Helen walks in the door with a sense of humor to beat the band and, you know, a quip or a sarcastic something that always makes me smile, I can't imagine planet Earth without Helen Walsh. And I haven't seen her for a while. She was here and then she was gone. And it's the story of her life. Anyway, what got you here in the first place and maybe what happened from there?
So, unfortunately, when I was 17, I had a car accident and I crushed my heel. So I was an active kid. I was never fat. I was never overweight. I was in all kinds of sports. Everything was great. I had a car accident and my heel bone was shattered. And my nose was broken and all kinds of other stuff that happens with a car accident. So right off the bat, I kind of lost a lot of time and things just changed in my life. I could no longer do sports. I couldn't walk on uneven ground, and pain. So every day is pain. So that sort of changed my life a little bit, and so I spent a lot of time feeling sorry for myself. And then I wasn't athletic. I didn't do anything anymore because everything hurt, right? So when you're hurting, you just don't do it. And so slowly I started to gain weight, and which was unusual for me because I was always active and I started gaining weight. So then the cycle started where it was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just take this program. I'll join Weight Watchers. I'll join Jenny Craig. I never did Jenny Craig, but you know what I mean? Like all of the programs, and I'll just lose a bit of weight. And so you lose a few pounds and then gain a few pounds and then lose a few pounds and then gain a few more pounds. Mm-hmm. And slowly I morphed into something that I wasn't very happy with. Mm-hmm. And then other things happened. I had my first child, which automatically you gain weight. Mm-hmm. But then I got the fun punch of postpartum depression. Which I had no idea that even existed. So it was late coming for treatment. So I lost about a year of my life for the mental health illnesses, which wasn't fun. Medication, I couldn't tolerate medication. Anyway, bad stuff happened. And then I went back to work and life, and we weren't gonna have any more children because we didn't want to go through that again. And then we decided that we would just hire someone to help us, because you forget. Right? You forget how hard things are.
Sure. Yes.
It kind of gets a little bit like, not a problem. Meanwhile, I'm still gaining weight. I'm still feeling sad about things. My first child was not the easiest baby. She's now 16 and still not the easiest child. And so then we decided we'll just have another baby and it'll be fine. Well, no. So I had another baby, gained some more weight, had another C-section, and went through another bout of postpartum depression, but then went back to work, started going to the gym again, getting back into shape, and everything was going to be great. And I had a really stressful job, and it was, my husband was doing an apprenticeship, and so he wasn't home a lot. So I'm being the supportive wife. I'm home with 2 kids and working full time, trying to keep everything together. And then what happened was my brain blew up. And I didn't know that my brain could blow up because I thought that my condition was to do with postpartum. And of course, I didn't have another baby, so why would I get sick again? Right. So I remember being here, and I could actually see the hole. And I remember saying to you, that there's the hole. And the next thing I know, I was in like the psychiatric hospital to make sure I didn't die. And so it was hard. It took a long time to get back from that. Meanwhile, I'm still fat. And I'm still depressed because I'm still fat, but my depression really isn't because I'm fat, right? There's something wrong with my brain, so I don't think like normal people. And so things made sense from when I was growing up that I don't think like normal people, but I didn't know that. I didn't know that my brain was not the same as everyone else's. So anyway, so that was fine. So it took me about a year, and then I got back to work. And I was very excited to be back to work because I'd been off for a year and I lost a year of my life. And let me tell you, I couldn't even walk from my house down the street because my cardiovascular was so shot, but I lost a ton of weight.
I remember that.
So I was really excited because I was sick, but I lost weight. And so everybody was like, wow, you look great. And I was like, I know, it's this diet called I have no appetite because I'm really sick. So that's how I lost the weight, and I was really excited, and I worked on that, and I was doing really well, and I thought things were great, and then they restructured where I worked, and I lost my job that I'd had for 10 years, and that was like a kick in the face to me, that you go away sick, you come back, and they don't need you anymore. So that really hurt.
And I have to interject here because I do know a little bit of the story, and I don't want to get into it, but we've already brought it up a number of times with regards to the stigma attached to having somebody with that situation that they're already having to wrestle with, and having to change jobs, and having to change jobs, because there might be some misunderstandings, is even harder.
It was very hard.
And I wanted to make sure that.
So I had to leave the community. I had to work outside of the community just because of the job that I had. I was known for what I do, so I couldn't work in my field anymore locally. So then I had to start commuting. Well, commuting's great for health.
Yeah.
Sitting in your car, drive-throughs because you don't have enough time, dropping kids at daycare, then trying to get out of town. Yeah. So it was difficult, but I did it. And then I was getting back to being healthy and everything was going really great, and then things started to hurt, right? I had this really bad pain and I couldn't figure out what the pain was, like physical pain. As I was struggling also with medication. Andrea knows better than anybody. I think you know better than most. I hate the medication that I've been forced to take.
Very much so.
It does really bad things to me, and I have to deal with terrible side effects. But there's not much I can do. So the doctor told me that I had to take the medication for 5 years, minimum 5 years, and that at the end of 5 years, statistically, there was a really good shot that I could have my life back without medication. When I got to the 5 years, I was very excited, went to the doctor. He told me that I'd probably be on it forever because for whatever reason, he decided that it was not something I could go off. So being me, I did anyway.
Yeah.
Worked with the doctor, went off of it, and I didn't get sick again, but I felt the relapse happening, so I had to actually believe my doctor and go back on the medication. So meanwhile, while all this is happening, you try to work out, you try to eat well, you try to do all these things, but it's really sad what's going on in my life. So, I kind of let things go. And then the pain started, the physical pain. Then I found out that it took a year for me to have that taken care of. But I couldn't walk because I had a growth on my spine that was pushing a nerve. So I had to wait for surgery to get that done. So now the surgery's done and I don't have any pain anymore in my back other than just the compensation from other parts of my body that are now back to normal. So really now I have accepted the fact that I have to be medicated for the rest of my life. But that's okay because I'm just different. But it's hard because people assume things about you. Like if I said I have a mental health issue, like I'm mentally ill. Well, not really. Like, am I in, like, do I have a relapse? Are you mentally ill? Like right now, like people go, oh, you're mentally ill. Yes, I'm mentally ill. I'm mentally ill and I'm fat. So I must be lazy, which I'm not. And people make all these assumptions about me by what I look like, and I have to be afraid of saying that I'm mentally ill because what does that mean? Am I not going to have another job? Like, I have a really good job, and I'm like in my field. I just passed my third part of my certification for what I do, and I only have one more. I have an oral exam in San Francisco in April, and if I get that, I'll be one of 25 ACRFREs in Canada, which means nothing to anybody but me. But
It means a lot.
But
And
it's really important.
I can honestly attest to Helen's story, and this is why I'm so excited that she reached out and said that she wanted to do this. I've watched Helen through her ups and downs over the years. Ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs, always pulling for her and praying for her and hoping for her and reaching out to her because she is one of the smartest, wittiest, most fun, entertaining people that I know, and she's worth getting to know. Are you going to do this? Are you well to do this? Do you feel like you can do this? And she says,
Yeah, I can do this. My biggest fear was that I would be the only person that would be like a contestant on The Biggest Loser. I thought everybody was going to be cut like you, getting ready for a show, and then there'd be me, the round guy.
This is the super fun part about the homegrown Cobourg edition of Radical Body Transformation is the key and the most exciting part is I love bodybuilding, I love shows, I love competing, I love all of that, but I also love helping everyday people like you discover what I was fortunate enough to discover, and that you can change your body. Yes, it's a lot of work, discipline, diligence, planning, all of that, and you know that. But yes, it's absolutely possible, and I believe in everybody. If they want to do it, they can do it. And I'm really excited that you are going to do it. And like I said to you, not on camera, but I'm more than happy to say it on camera, we can cry, we can scream, we can yell, we can pound the floor, but we're doing this. And we're going all the way.
I'm ready.
Like I said, I've known you how many years now? I don't even know. I've watched your family grow. I've watched your family implode, explode, whatever. I've watched you fall apart, and I'm watching you put yourself back together, and I am honored, and it is my privilege to be this person that's at your side, helping you through this final transformation for Miss Helen Walsh.
Yes. Dear future me, I've struggled with my weight for years, decades. I've done every diet, every fad, and it never worked. Until now, this time.
Really negative feedback from that?
Yeah, whenever you tell people you're having a fat bomb, they kind of look at you like, what? Right, and bullet coffee.
I think resolutions at this point, we all understand, are silly.
Yeah.
Everybody here made a resolution months ago to change their life. So I think, we don't say we're making a New Year's resolution. We're just continuing our healthy lifestyle.
When you go away somewhere and you're on a fabulous vacation, and that's what vacations are all about, that's what holidays are all about. We kind of switched gears, and we do go back to old perspectives of food as this celebratory, traditional love on a platter, and we feel that love, and then addiction comes back, and it's, for a lot of people, it's powerful as any drug.
Our diet journal, or our meal plan journal, to tell them when we eat, what we ate, so they can narrow it down to if they're enough working out or whatever.
5 months, that's a fair chunk of time.
Yeah.
And those 5 months, what do you think our changes have been?
Definitely in my confidence in front of employees and family members, and just confident even just going into the mall and getting into clothing that I knew I should have been in long ago. Things are fitting differently.
I know you're about as much of a clothes horse as I am. I'm not embarrassed to say I love fashion, I love clothes, workout clothes. You walk in wearing a shirt, I'm like, where did you get that? You're like, St. Anne's. I'm like, medium, large. Go buy me one, I'll pay you. So I know how important clothes are to you in terms of how things fit and feel.
Yeah.
I think that's a marker for you, probably even more so than necessarily what you weigh.
Right.
So I know with that comes like this, I don't know, it's the same for me, that feeling of freedom.
Yeah.
When you put on your clothes any day and they fit.
Yeah.
And you don't think about them not fitting or them feeling funny or later in the day when they're pushing against you or you're hanging over the top or whatever. So I recognize the more that I see you, the more interesting things you're starting to wear. And you're not one to say, man, do I feel great. Like, oh, I'm the bomb. So it's always in a quiet way that you express yourself, your confidence, which I've certainly noticed. And your body confidence in terms of things that you choose to wear. So many times you come in ready for work-ish or after work-ish, dropping Zoe off or picking her up from dance, and I think I can just get a quick look over and you always look like $1 million. And I know people look like $1 million and dress like $1 million because they feel like $1 million. So I never have to have those conversations with you because you demonstrate it just walking around, being you, and telling me the stories that you tell about things that are happening in your life or situations that you're having to tackle and handle. So I always really appreciate those stories because they're always, to me, evidentiary proof of how far you're coming, although you'd never be one to toot your own horn. And I want you to know that. I really appreciate just the way you're living your life. From a physical standpoint, in terms of the body changing and some of our goals, what's our next goal? What are we doing?
Still targeting to go to the fitness show. Hopefully that's still my goal, and long-term goal is now to maybe take ProFit or CanFit to learn a little bit more and help people around me, like at work, to get more information, especially on the diet and the nutrition part of it.
You mentioned that. Tell me a little bit about that when you're at work.
I have a lot of people that crash and eating the wrong things, and they see what I'm doing, and sometimes I just offer what I have to help them get through their next treatment, and instead of a junk food.
The mom of all moms, so always helping.
Yeah.
And would you say that's had some effect over there?
Yep.
At the workplace?
Yeah. A lot of people notice a lot of different changes in me and how I look and what I'm doing. They always ask, so and then I just tell them what I've been watching and what I'm doing with my diet and training, and they seem to be gravitating towards that more with me.
And in terms of feeling stronger?
It gets me through the day. It gives me motivation, self-confidence with them or in general.
I've worked with Kelly for a little while now, and she's been part of my gym for a longer time than that. And she'd never say it because she's very shy and she's quiet, but she's not. She's a mama bear and she takes control of the situation in front of her every time. She's a professional mother. She has 3 kids, and every one of them is an outstanding young person on their way to bright, brilliant futures. And it's because they have great parents that absolutely are so invested in everything that they do. So don't let that quiet voice fool you. She's a monster, and she's a mom. We're getting ready for a show. So when we shoot again, like, March, April, and we'll have to be shooting again in May, you're going to see that young lady on stage rocking an amazing posing suit. Don't kid yourself. Hunter, when did we start training? Ish.
I
think it's
like
been
around the end of August, around there.
Wow, okay, so what's the difference to you in 5 minutes? What have we done?
Well, definitely like grown a lot. And I've noticed that like I've put on, I guess, more weight, but it's muscle instead of fat, which is, I don't know, I think it's a pretty good feeling when you step on and it says like 195 and it's not like it was before, but yeah. Overall, I feel really good.
Did you ever think that you'd enjoy weight training this much?
Not really, no, because I remember when I first came here with my hockey team.
Yeah.
And you put us through the boot camp ropes, and I hated every second of it.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know.
was actually very surprised to see you come back again.
Yeah.
Hunter was the goalie. There's a great picture that somebody sent to me of you graduating. It was grade 8. What were you graduating, grade 8?
Probably grade 8, yeah.
And you were so round, and so cute, and so gushy, and you're just so different now. And even when I met you, you were far more gushier.
Yeah, look like a different person.
But you totally
like,
do.
if I saw someone in pictures of what I used to look, they're like, who's that?
What's your favorite weight training lift?
Probably the bent over row.
Yeah. I don't know anybody your age, like where you are, how long we've been training, that rows as much as you do.
Yeah.
It blows my mind every time.
I'm a walking back.
how strong you've gotten, how quickly. Like, I know you pay extreme attention to your diet, which again blows my mind because I have to remind myself that you're 18 and that you're supposed to be eating burgers and French fries and drinking beer illegally and, breaking other various laws as a, experimenting teenager. And you blow my mind because you're so diligent to the point where I almost think I encourage you to have more cheeseburgers than anybody.
Yeah. I think like doing that here has like helped me out a lot with other things. I don't know, like productivity, I guess, with like schoolwork and stuff like that.
Cool.
Because like when I was in grade 12 last year, I don't know, I didn't really have that much drive, I guess, because I didn't really know what I wanted. But then after I started like training a lot, it kind of, I don't know, gave me a little extra push to be more productive in things other than the gym.
That's awesome. You know what? I never knew that. That makes me feel really good. Because I know you and I, between sets and laughs and whatever, have a few of our serious moments. And I'm always excited that you came to us so young. I wish more people did, because this is exactly that. It can give you a whole other drawer of tools to utilize in your life to be, to live more rounded, more optimally. I use that word, and I don't know another word that I could use instead of it, but to just like take on challenges that you might otherwise shirk from, and to open up more and accept more of what life has to offer you based on the confidence that a lot of people find through the physical and through the gym. And so when I hear that, and I know next year you're going to go away to school, and I'm excited that when you go, you're going to go with those tools that maybe you didn't have before you would have went.
Yeah,
Would that
really
be
glad
fair?
I have those now.
Yeah.
I think going to university, not knowing like any of this, would be I don't know, it'd be hard, because like I find like if I don't go to the gym, I just get like stressed out, I guess, or like stress comes to me easier than if I don't.
So is it fair to say that when you go away to university next year, you'll be in the gym?
Yeah, probably every day.
Yeah. in the Cobourg.
Some stressful moments.
You'll know what to do in the gym, which
Yeah.
is super cool, and I know your mom will really appreciate that.
Yeah.
What's been the best moment in the gym thus far?
I guess just like watching myself progress, like from the very start when we were doing the exercise.
The front raise.
Yes.
Oh my
Went
God,
from
I
the
totally remember that day when
little
we had those
10s.
nice little 10s and
Yeah.
you were just like struggle for your life. And I said to you, we will never speak of this again. So here we are talking to everybody about it. It's a pretty good day. Worst day?
I guess when I was like starting out, not really knowing like how to properly eat.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of hard to get rolling.
Yeah.
Cause before I like never ate a lot. I was always like, I don't know, I went from like eating a lot to not eating that much at all and always coming to the gym. So I guess I built up like a really fast metabolism. So I would lift, but I wouldn't like gain any muscle. It would kind of I would just stay dormant.
Good for you for learning it young. It's
Yeah.
the number one anabolic. I think I say this 1,000 times a day to male clients especially. Number one anabolic, food. Everybody's looking for the magic, and it's on your dinner plate. Lots of dinner plates all day long. Very good. I'm always impressed with Hunter because he loves weight training and he gives it everything he has every time he comes into the gym, no matter what that is. And he always asks for more. And I love that. Anyway, Hunter's one of my superstars, and I can't wait to see at the end of this transformation where this takes him. And I only know, as much as radical body transformation's been a lot of fun for all of us, Hunter being 18, heading on to start his life. This is his launch pad, is knowing where to go work off your stress, where to go feel strong and confident, and to be master of his body and to know how to feed it and fuel it properly. I just seen a tremendous future for Hunter. I'm so excited for him.
So what has the difference been this time around? I looked at me and I really feel what's going on inside my head, and I've been hiding for years. I've been hiding behind fat and food, denying things that I feel inside, and I decided no more.
Why does she make me cry? Because she's one of the smartest women I know. She's one of the women that struggles the most with her life. She doesn't deserve to struggle with the life that she has, and she always figures out a way to look after everybody in her life, and she so often doesn't look after herself. First of all, can I make you show your pants one more time, please?
Seriously?
Yes.
Okay, these are my pants.
Helen Walsh. There. Yeah, so I don't even know how those stay up. Like when you, how do they stay up? Is that do you have a rigging system?
I just sort of hike them.
So in 5 months, what's happened? Tell me everything. Tell me first of all, some numbers.
The weight has not been the real surprise. The scale has not moved as much as I would have liked it, but the inches have. So overall, I'm 21 inches approximately down all over.
21 and a half.
21 and a half, right? So,
yeah, 21 and a half inches are gone now.
So just over 20 pounds. I would have thought it would be more, but I'm much stronger. So like we said.
Got some lean body mass gain, some muscles.
Yeah, definitely.
There,
when I started, I was pathetic. I was unable to do anything. My fitness level was the pits. And since then, I'm so further ahead. I can see the progress. I can do an hour on the treadmill or an hour on elliptical before 10 minutes was hard. I can do things that I couldn't do. I can feel the strength in the weights that I'm picking up.
You sat out some training sessions, but you never stopped following your eating regimen.
No, I didn't. I guess that's the biggest change this time around for me. Is I've been on this path before, and this time has been totally different. It's just different. I found the things that are deep inside me that have to change, and have just been dealing with them emotionally. I'm not possessed by what I eat, what I don't eat. For people like me that have struggled, you kind of get in this mindset where you can eat this and you can't eat this, and then your whole life is obsession about food.
Yeah.
And it's not healthy at all. And I've done that multiple times, and I've read, and I'm quite knowledgeable about all the different things that are out there.
You're one of the most knowledgeable people I know about how one goes about losing weight.
Yeah, and
You've
what
read
works, what doesn't. I've read everything
published
on the market. Yeah,
and
so
you don't just read it; you retain it, and you can regurgitate it at
And so this time I don't think I'm following what everyone else is doing.
No, you're not. But you're Helen. Why would you?
But I'm Helen. Why would I do that? I don't write down what I eat. I don't track what I'm doing. I just know, right? These are the foods that I'm eating. This is what I'm eating. I'm only eating when I'm hungry. And I'm not hungry often anymore, right? Because I'm eating foods that satiate me, make me feel full, and then I don't need to eat for a long time.
I hear a lot of different theories. I read a lot of different theories about nutrition.
Yeah.
And I'm always of the thought that just like we all look different on the outside, we are all different systems on the inside. And it's really a journey, a life's work of finding out your system and how to manage it. And there is not just your system in terms of, your blood type, your organ construct, but your metabolism and what your metabolism might have been through over the years. But then there's the psychology of food and the addiction issues of food. And
definitely for me, that's a big issue. Like carbohydrates.
This is why
sugar,
I find intermittent fasting to be fascinatingly successful with people that are built like you.
It's like an alcoholic, right? If you have a drink, then you tend to have more. For me, it's like, if I have a chocolate bar, it no longer was enough. I would have another one or another donut. Life is very cyclical. Really bad things have happened to me along the way. They're nothing to shake a stick at, right? Like
they're nothing to shake a stick at.
Mental illness, mental illness
stuff.
is really hard, and it's something that people deal with. I mean, my psychiatrist still, he loves me, right? Which is funny,
How
right?
Can he not?
My psychiatrist, he's like, you're like a walking lab, right? Because wow, go from being here to being here.
I've never known you to be so boisterously outspoken and free.
Really, that's funny because people tell me I never shut up, and that I'm the only one they know that actually thinks things that say it out loud. Instead of thinking it, you say it out loud, Ellen.
Absolutely wowed over the honesty that you have been willing to just throw down and say, here, deal with that, lady.
It's been really, really different. Really different. I'm so not the same person that I was 5 months ago. And I know that sounds cliche, and I'm sure that, if somebody was watching me and they would go, yeah, whatever, you've done this before, blah, blah, blah. It's not. I'm not at all the same person. My bullshit meter is totally different. I'm not as hard on myself in many ways as I used to be. I'm not there by any means, right? Would I walk around naked right now for everybody to see? No, not on your life, right? I have scars and stretch marks, and we make fun of me. We call me my shape a topiary, right? Which I'm the first one to say, what shape are you? I'm a topiary, right? But the topiary is getting smaller.
I don't think you're topiary anymore.
Well, no, I'm still a little topiary, but I don't know. But, the thing is I can laugh at myself because I know I don't look in the mirror in desperation anymore. Normally, if I ditch for a few weeks because I'm sick, which happens, everybody gets sick and can't work out, and so you just sort of fall off a cliff, right, into this abyss. And at the bottom of the abyss, Tim Hortons lives.
Yes.
It just does.
They're ready for you with donuts.
It's just right there. There's Tim Hortons right at the bottom of waiting for you
The donuts are ready.
Feel good.
Yeah.
Right. So I didn't drop off the abyss. I just was angry. I was angry that I couldn't work out, and I was angry that the doctor couldn't help me, and it just frustrated me. So I was resting and stuff. But it was on your face when I walked in, and you kind of went, "Hey, you look smaller. You haven't been here in weeks, but you look smaller. So I don't know what you're doing, but okay, good, yay!" Right? Instead of holy crap, we have to start again.
Oh no!
What did she do while she was awake? Was she in the abyss and the Tim Hortons in the hole? It's like, come and see me in 8 months. I am not going. You're not going to recognize me. Right?
I believe that. I hardly recognize you now.
Because I'm so done. I'm so done with it.
The stigma of mental illness in terms of employment, how the world sees you, how you see yourself because the world sees you that way, and how to fight back and say, no, there's nothing wrong with me. Nothing more wrong with me than if I had cerebral palsy or any other disease that you can see. model in your mind. Go for it. Shove it in there. Shove it out, sort of.
Full body biologics. Thank you so much.
Here, I got 2 cups to take.
Proud of you, Kelly.
Awesome.
We have to be careful we don't go to her.
You're here.
You know what it's.
You look amazing. Because I was a little concerned last night, not a lot, but it never fails to amaze me the process of getting ready for show. Because if you think about even a week ago to right now, every single day, like I told you, every day get up, go to a mirror and look, because you will wake up with a different body every day. And this is the body that you needed to wake up with today, and you woke up with it today. So timing is crucial, and we made it look perfect. How do you feel?
Pull your rectors up. So then you're back.
Great. Do you feel ready?
I feel, yeah, I
Ready
feel
for
ready.
who knows what, because you don't even know what you're in for?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I feel a little bit more complete than
You
I
look
thought. So.
perfect. Whatever's going on, whatever's going right, whatever's not going right, just cross that stage. You're gonna smile like you mean to do everything that you're doing. If you forget anything, don't worry about it. You're just walking. You know how to walk. You're gonna walk very slowly.
Right. Yes.
Okay, you're gonna hold your poses for as long as you damn well want to. Do not feel rushed in any way. Take your time. You've done all the work to stand on that stage. You're gonna own that stage for the time that you're on that stage. Work it. It's your moment.
We're backstage at the UFE show in Cobourg. These are my lovely, lovely first finishers of our own Season 2 Bodilogix Radical Body Transformation, and I'm so excited to be here. And I just wanted to say a little bit about, well, obviously they've worked really hard, and I'll let them talk in a minute, but as coach, I really wanted them to have their very first show here at the UFE. I love this federation for so many reasons, but the number one reason is if it's your first time ever getting on a stage, I think this is a pretty awesome environment to do that. Not quite so nerve-wracking as a few other federations out there, but you're not nervous at all, are you?
No, not at all. Yes.
Not even, well, no nerves, all good. Not nervous at all? Not at all. So I think we're just about ready to start pumping up to go on stage.
You just got off stage for the first time. How do you feel?
Good.
Do you feel like completely overwhelmed right now?
Yeah, I do.
What was your first thought when you went up on stage?
Help, my legs are shaking. I can't stop.
And how do you feel now that you're off?
Good. It's done.
You look overwhelmed with emotion. Can you believe you did that?
No. Not at all. No.
Was it fun?
Yes, it was.
And would you do it again?
Most definitely.
What are you most proud of now that you've gotten off stage?
That I did it. I did it with as much confidence as I could. To show them that I can stand up in front of people.
Can you believe after 6+ months of preparation and hard work and sacrifice that it's all over?
No.
I wanted it to end, now I don't want it to end.
It kind of feels like you're in a dream a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I only watch Helen from a distance because you train Helen.
And I've known Helen for years.
Right. And all I've known is the Helen that first walked in who applied for this show and the Helen I see now from an ex. And I watch her with amazement because she's a different person. And that's from an almost stranger only looking in.
I gave her such a hard time when she said, I think I want to do this.
Right.
I gave her such a hard time. because I've trained Helen in the past, and I know Helen's modus operandi. She'll give it, but she'll pull it back every time. She will self-sabotage. She loved that fat suit she wore.
Right.
And she would maybe
suit of armor.
venture out just a little bit, and then she'd throw that armor right back on. Never met this Helen before.
Right.
And I never know what I'm going to get because it's all new.
Yep.
And it's so honest and beautiful. And it must be so terrifying for her to just start, like, seriously, piece by piece, taking that armor off, crying.
Yep.
Like, laughing.
Yep.
Mad.
Yep. Pure happiness out of her now, which I didn't ever see before.
And describe what Helen's going through is, some people, a lot of people may put on their weight, not because they like candy. They do it because something's happened in their life.
Right.
And this becomes where they seek
Solace.
refuge. Yeah. It's in sugar and numbing carbs and just,
Well, and that's the one thing they can control.
And just don't look at me. I don't exist. I'm invisible. And it's so effective. It is so effective.
Well, and I think you said it must be so frightening or scary. I think she's embracing that. I think she knows.
She's just ready.
I think she knows it's scary, and she knows it's going to be scary, but she is embracing that, which is huge.
Yeah, huge. I think RBT's just been a part of that.
I think so too.
Just shining a mirror right at it, shining the light right at it.
Yep.
Open the closet doors and let it all fall out.
Yep.
Love it.
That's all she wrote. Oh my God.
Thank you.
Holy crap. That hurt. That was like more lunges than I could possibly do. Ow.
Oh baby, the struggle is so very real today. He's like, that's gotta be. Let me check my watch. Awesome, 2 minutes, drop it down. So Helen, it's been how long? 6 months? Is that right?
Almost 8 months, I think.
Wow. How's it going?
It's going good.
Yeah?
Yep. I'm like, I'm almost to my first really big goal. I'm like about 6 or 7 pounds away from hitting like a really big milestone. So I'm really happy about that. And today I put on some Lululemon pants. They're size 12, they don't fit me, but I got them on. I didn't rip any elastic or anything.
That's awesome. So that's, I know from our many discussions, always been kind of a bit of a
big goal.
Totally, right? Yeah. And not even just a big goal, but even maybe a bit of a sore spot because you,
because
over the years, really wanted to
but they never had Lulu Watermelon, right? They only have Lululemon, so you have to be sort of skinny.
What has been the biggest struggle thus far?
I had a relapse. So for me, like every day of my life, it was mental illness. Sort of took me down since the last time we did our update. I had a relapse, so I was kind of out of commission for a while, and that was hard. But I gave up the exercise, but I didn't give up what I was doing. I didn't do what I normally do, which is use food to make myself feel better. To me, that's like a really good thing.
It's not a good thing, it's huge.
Yeah. But, mental illness always comes and gets me. 3 weeks or 4 weeks where you're not doing anything, and then boom, you can't do what you could do 4 weeks ago. So you feel even worse because it's like, wow, I'm in this process and now I can't do anything.
So we've been back at the gym for how long?
So it's been about a month, 3 weeks to a month that I've actually been back where I've been pretty consistent and I haven't had issues where I couldn't come. So
I'm looking forward, what do you see?
What do I see? Well, I decided that, and I actually said it out loud, that I'm going to do a show. So this is like the first year of my RBT journey. So I'm going to do a year, and that'll be the year where I just sort of shed all the weight. So that my first goal will be to be sort of, I guess, average weight, what normal people are carrying around. And then next year we'll be going the next step and actually trying to get into a show, which I would never in a million years have imagined myself even wanting to do that like 8 months ago. Like, I'm not going to go to win or anything. That's not really my goal. My goal is to actually just put that suit on and wear those little glass heels and stand up there and go, holy crap, look at what I've done. They probably give you a bag of M&Ms and and a medal.
I mean, there's those that go to win. It's all about winning, and I get that. But sometimes I know for even my last show, it wasn't so much about winning. It was about having a relationship with myself and challenging myself And so when I hear you say the same, it's like it's not about winning, it's about you doing something that you never thought you'd do.
Yeah.
And celebrating your success in that way that you want to celebrate it. I'm behind you 110%.
Well, I've always done education stuff. Like I'm always taking courses and trying to better myself. But due to the medications that I have to take and some of the issues that I have, my memory is just not what it used to be. So courses are not something that I can do to challenge myself now. So I need something that's a challenge. And this has just been life-changing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm sort of on the train.
You are.
So I might as well get to the end, right?
Go to the last stop.
Yeah, and I want the bag of M&Ms.
So do I.
So I'm facing my demons and really understanding who I was and who I have become. This has been about finding out about me, and it has not come without a price. I went through a relapse during this process, probably even worse than was to be expected, because I was soul searching at the same time. Intense emotional upheaval coupled with not using my medication, that leads to disaster. So I had some scary days and more than a few scary nights while I got back on track. It made me realize once again how strong I really am. I put the pill in my mouth, me. No one made me or asked me, I did it, and I have to deal with the side effects that come with those meds. But I showed myself that I'm strong and that I know what I must do for me.
During my time as a high school student, I have experienced many different activities which have helped me develop into the person I am today. But one of these activities in particular has helped me to grow, not only physically, but mentally as well. This activity is weight training. The person with whom I was working with was always very supportive and kind every step of the way, which helped tremendously with my overall effort. After a while, when I began noticing results, or as the kids call it, gains, my confidence skyrocketed, and I was finally comfortable with my own body. I then started going out more, meeting new people, making new friends. It was possibly the best I had felt in my entire life. This newly found confidence also helped with my schoolwork as well. Since I was depressed most of the time, my grades were slipping drastically because I had virtually no motivation to do any of it. But after my body began to change for the better, so too did my work ethic, and my grades began to rise gradually.
I've never known a teenager, somebody of his age, to be so dedicated and diligent to so many things. The only thing that I would change is just making sure he eats enough. You know, I get it, maybe sort of not as much as, somebody else, but you sleep in because you're a teenager and then you got to get to school. So we skip breakfast. No, we can't skip breakfast. Hunter in the gym is a joy.
He is.
I've trained with him
so
a few
much
times. Fun. He's a strong kid.
He is strong.
His attention to forming technique, given the fact that he joined the gym as a chubby goalie.
Yep.
And he just knows form and technique come first. So he's a good lifter. And I love that at 18, wherever he goes in his life, from here, the gym will be part of his life.
Yeah, it's the foundation that's been set.
Do you not think that is the most awesome
For sure.
experience and gift
Yep.
that we can be a part
Absolutely.
of?
Well, because a lot of us didn't get there till we were adults.
When we interviewed him and he said the gym, the working out has really helped him become more productive.
Right, in all the other areas.
Even gets that.
I know.
I was like, I'm just better at other parts of my life because of the discipline that the gym is teaching.
Which we didn't learn probably till into your, 20s or 30s.
You can learn that before you go away to university?
Yeah.
Wow.
Huge.
I mean, as any teenager does. I know he goes to social gatherings. He's got a lovely girlfriend, Grace.
Yep.
Doesn't drink beer, it's not part of his protocol.
Yep.
I don't know, they're all having burgers and fries, and Hunter's, oatmeal, and he says rice and sweet potatoes
I'm not gonna
and
drink
chicken, and really takes it on. Looks great.
He does look great. Yeah. I call him Malibu Ken.
He totally is.
I do not think I would be the person I am today if I had not joined my gym, and I'll always remember the lesson it taught me about being confident in myself for the rest of my life.
And over. Extra step. Okay. So, Kelly, how you doing?
Tired.
RBT chat, radical body transformation. It's the end. It's August. You did it. The full year gone.
Yeah, it is.
How was it?
It was great.
Yeah.
Great experience.
It was a great experience. You did a show.
Yeah, I did.
Tell me about that. Highlight. What was the best part of that show? First of all, I can't believe you did it. Congratulations. I think I cried more that day.
It was great. I had my family there. I just wanted to be up in front of people, compete, give my kids the opportunity to be part of something that I want to enjoy, taking it and using it in their life.
I think you've succeeded to do that. I see Sam around the gym a little bit more. Hey, Sam. Come on over. Have a seat. This is Sam. Sam is Kelly's son. He's quite a lacrosse star in his own right. And Zoe's not here today. Kelly's daughter. She's also a superstar athlete in the dance world. And I can only imagine what it's like watching your two athletes, not to mention Madison, and all the amazing things that she's done, hockey.
Yeah.
And now off to school. How exciting that was that day to have them with you. I took the pictures, and I've never seen so many teeth in all the pictures I took of just absolute jubilation at your success. And here Sam sits in my gym, and I never saw him before. So can you tell me about that?
Sam enjoys sports, but I'm always on the sideline watching him. There's nothing really I can do for him other than cheer him on. So he's joined the gym with me, and
it's like he's cheering you on.
Yeah.
And what's in the future for Kelly?
I'm doing another show.
Yay!
Another one in hopefully October and May. And then hopefully Sam's going to join me.
That is awesome, a family affair. I came across some old paperwork that just was kind of, Kelly, where did this all begin for Kelly? And I had a measurement sheet from a long time ago, 2015, when you walked in the door. And when I opened that page and looked at it, I remembered that day. And I remember when you and I intimately met.
Yeah.
And it said Kelly O'Connor had the date, 167 pounds. Now, that's not what really struck me. It's where you were at in your life, which is why I was really excited that you wanted to do radical body transformation, because I think for you, maybe you needed that. And then I see you where you are today, and it's a different person.
Yeah.
That just must feel like 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, it does. Definitely built more of the confidence that I needed back.
It's 40 pounds gone.
Yep.
And I don't think any of it's ever coming back.
No.
It took a long time for your body to let go.
Yep.
To release. I see this new person with incredible confidence and speaks your mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I needed that control, get back into my groove of things.
I think you got it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see you on stage in October.
Thank you.
This journey has been one where I faced me in the mirror. I looked at the stretch marks and the fat deposits, and I was angry at me for doing this to myself. As it has been coming off, I've been working to let go of the anger and look to the future. I'm still struggling, but I'm making great strides towards becoming who I want to be and finding the happiness I deserve, however that may look. You have to take the good and the bad and just do the best you can to be happy. But happiness is not food. Happiness can be the feeling, the pain of life, and just accepting it, letting it happen, feeling it, and then moving on to the next emotion, not slamming it down and burying it under thousands of calories and self-hatred. You can't do that anymore. You have to feel it, all of it, and you have to do what makes you happy.
A year later. And what a year it's been.
It has been an amazing year, but it's only my first year, so I know everybody else is finishing up and starting to get ready to be done, and no, I'm not. I'm gearing up for the next year, so because my goals are lofty, and there's no way I could have done them in 1 year, not safely anyway.
You know what, that brings a very valid point to the entire process of radical body transformation and transforming. In that, given this chapter of RBT being about real people in our lovely little town of Cobourg, that was a big thing about the project as a coach, a fitness coach, would be that we're interested in real transformation, lasting transformation in everyday beautiful lives. I greatly respect that you have a timeline that makes so much sense, and what I greatly respect also is that you are the one that's initiated year 2 for Helen Walsh of RBT based on not lofty goals, very specific goals you are in demand of. And I want you to share a little bit about that.
Well, when I first started, I thought I would just lose weight. The RBT show that I've seen is really, you watch them go on shows when they're done, so they kind of go from being a little overweight or a little soft to, really, really hard body and tan. And I wasn't a little soft, I was round, right? So taking a marshmallow and making it into somebody that's going to be on the stage in a year, I knew that was not realistic. So I didn't really join up for that. I just figured it wasn't that important to me. I've changed so much this year, been through so much this year, that I just decided that I would like to see that end result, but I couldn't do that in a year. So there was no way that I was going to just stop eating and being silly about it to drop weight. Tomorrow I see the doctor. I'm going to see a surgeon tomorrow to talk about skin removal and what they can do to help me, because as I've lost weight since I'm not 20, and in the magazines, the People magazine, they lost 200 pounds and look how great they look, right?
Sure.
And they're all like, all their skin went back to where it's supposed to be, yet mine just didn't want to do that.
Your birthday suit doesn't fit you anymore.
It does not. So tomorrow I shall find out what they can do, because I don't know.
You said something to me a while back, I've never forgotten. You said to me, why should I have to walk around in the shame? This was me then, this is not me now.
Yeah.
And I don't want to look in the mirror every time and see that girl, because that girl's dead and she's gone, and I'm this girl. And I would like my body to reflect this girl.
Yeah, once the skin is gone, I have to find out, how can you build muscle with skin that's been changed, and then go forward from there, lose some more weight, lose some more inches, lose some more sizes. Everybody who wants to can do it, because I have a life that's just like everyone else's. I have a stressful job, a full-time job, I commute, I have teenagers, 2 of them at home that don't like each other a lot, a husband who commutes to the other side of Toronto. So I've got all of the things that, the reasons you can't do it, I have them all. And you just have to change.
You are changed.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to watch RBT 2. We're at the end. We're down 25 inches. We're down, 11 and a half inches off your waist.
Yep.
It's been a hell of a ride. What's your take on it?
I needed to make a change. And this is, to me, more holistic than stuff on TV, where you see The Biggest Loser and all those other shows, and they just they go really full out for 3 months and then they just leave them. And I didn't really want that to happen, because I have to go home at the end of the day and live with myself. So I needed to really find out what was wrong, what was bothering me, and change internally, which is what I've done. That was really good for me, and it took a long time, a lot of self-thought and why I'm doing it, but every time I questioned it, I just tried harder.
In this year of radical body transformation, what would you say would have been your highlights?
Seeing my strength change, getting stronger, my pants falling off. That was really fun. Having to, be told that I had to buy new clothes, having to actually go and be measured for a bra, because I didn't know what size I was anymore, which is unusual. So those were highlights for me that were kind of things tangibles, but I think just my whole outlook on life changed.
Your year was one, I would say, of just overcoming every kind of obstacle that could possibly show up.
Injuries.
And some you never would think could even exist.
Yeah, it's very true.
And they all came to you.
I couldn't do a show or anything like that, a physique show, which some of the people that did this got to go on stage and they did awesome. But I really wasn't going for that. I was going for just the normal, regular folk that want to change their lives and lose some weight and feel better and feel healthier and strong.
You lost a lot of weight. You put on some lean body mass. You did everything that you needed to do to make your body look a certain way. And of course, the birthday suit that you were stuck with just didn't match the person that you had become.
No.
And this was part of the quandary, was why do I have to look in the mirror at this suit? I've earned a better one.
Right.
And you did earn a better one.
Yes.
And Mother Nature just decided that you weren't going to get one.
Right.
And you said to me, Andrea, I'm going to go get some surgery. I'm going to go get a massive tummy tuck.
Yep.
And you did. Tell me all about that. What was the consultation like when you walked in there? The decision, you decided this is what you were going to do.
Well, I was embarrassed because I thought that he might say no, that I hadn't lost enough weight, I wasn't skinny enough, the skin wasn't hanging down by my feet,
right? So I was afraid that he'd go, yeah, no, you're not suited for this. But he didn't. He asked me if I'd lost the weight on my own, or if I had like staples in my stomach, that kind of surgery. And I was like, no, I did it on my own. So he was like, oh, that's really great. And yeah, for sure, we can sort you out and change your life. And that's exactly what he said. It'll change your life. And it did. I was terrified. I mean, I was really scared. And then I went and I had the surgery, and it was very painful afterwards, but it was more painful when I looked in the mirror, because it was not me. And you can ask my kids, because my belly button moved, right? And I thought he put it in the wrong spot.
Because you've never had a belly button.
Because I've never had it where it's supposed to be.
Spot.
Yeah, so I kept pushing through the bandages, going, "It's my belly button. It's not supposed to be there, right? Like, it's usually down here." And they're like, "No, Mom, right? Your belly button's in the right spot." It was really emotional. It was really different. It took me a while to get used to it. I didn't even look at myself for a while, because I was sort of afraid. I didn't want to look at it, and not because of the scarring and anything. I just was weird, because it's so different. Like, my clothes fit so differently. Everything was just so different, and I was like, so I looked in the mirror, and it was really more emotional than I ever thought it would be. Like, I cut the armor off, so I could no longer hide behind that. Like, why would somebody reject me? Why would somebody not want me to be, an employee or their friend or whatever? The rejection was always, I could hide behind it, mask it.
So here you are with no armor.
Yeah, well, I still have some armor on my arms, but I'm going to get that cut off too. So
now you have no armor, and you're still standing, and you're out there with your new job, kicking ass. Are you up to this? What's your next moves? What's happening? Where are you going?
I'm going to start another year of fighting and struggling and trying to go to the next place that my body wants to go. But I'm really excited, because I started at a size 24. I'm now a size 15.
We're proud of you.
Thank you.
We're at the end of RBT.
Yep. And it was a radical body transformation for me.
It was a very radical body transformation.
The only stage that I stand on is the one at home in the kitchen, but, with my kids and stuff. But it doesn't matter.
Helen, it was more than a radical body transformation. It was a radical transformation, literally from here to here.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
It has only been my honor.
The cool thing, though, is that I really don't need a costume. I told you that, right? Because of all of the stretch marks all over me, you can just spray me, and I would be like a cheetah, right?
People will come and go in your life, but you are stuck with you forever. So don't let yourself go there.
To be her friend and not just her coach.
Learn, accept, and be. Live life without regrets.
Did you have any idea what the hell we got ourselves into when we decided to do this?
None.
RBT project?
None. Well, I think we knew we were taking on a bunch of people, and the goal was get them healthy, change their body. But I think what wasn't expected was all the other stuff that comes along with that.
Totally.
It's like we have 15 or 20 new kids.
They are
each with a different personality.
I say that like you do, with so much respect, but so much learning going on, and so much information, and so many life events and their lives.
Well, and you care about them like a child, because you care about their emotional well-being and their physical well-being, and what are they doing when they leave the gym in their life.
And like a kid, they're fibbing to you.
Right. Some of them, yeah.
You're getting a half-truth sometimes. And not because they want to lie to you, but they don't want you to know.
They don't want to disappoint us.
They don't want to disappoint us.
Yeah.
I feel such responsibility for these people.